More than 100 people are feared trapped beneath tons of concrete and steel after an overpass collapsed in Calcutta. This is some of the latest pictures into us this morning. You can see the rescuers there, some working with their hands as well as heavy equipment to search for survivors. We want to take you as close as we can to that scene. A freelance reporter, Shantanu Ray, is joining me from Delhi, but of course, Delhi far away from Calcutta, but the whole country must be transfixed by this drama, Shantanu. Let's start with the collapse. What's the latest information we know? What happened there?
Well, the army has been called in. Sisters of missionaries of charity, they've all moved in. It probably looks like a human tragedy. The bridge was under construction. The toll currently is more than 22. The official figure, obviously, is about 16. But this tragedy once again has brought to focus how man-made accidents keep happening in India, where there are virtually no ways to track them. Calcutta, the part of Calcutta where this bridge was being constructed, is the most congested. Calcutta is an old colonial city, so some buildings are old and decaying, and they're all caught in legal wrangles. And unless they are crushed and rebuilt, there's no space for any flyovers to go through. This one was trying desperately to go through 2 rows of building, and there was the problem.
Flyover, just because we use slightly different lingo, that we would call it an overpass, but it's a flyover as it's known there locally. So as we look at these pictures, we see obviously a seething mass of rescuers, so many arriving on scene, trying to help. As far as the rescue operation itself goes, Shantanu, what are you hearing there?
Well, unfortunately, I'm hearing bad news about rescue operations. 4 hours have passed, the big cranes haven't arrived. The army has just now come in, and till now, whatever has happened with bare hands and whatever small levers people could push in. So I seriously believe there has been a tremendous delay, and that delay has caused more deaths. I'm sure you are aware that more than 150 people are trapped under this flyover pass, and in fact, actually, there was a huge market there for midday meals, and that market was a flourishing market with lots of hawkers, people, sellers, buyers of food, and they've all been crushed under this huge rubble, concrete, and that's very sad.
Just terrible to look at these pictures, to see the rescuer, and the rescuers can hear people crying out to them, can see them, hands reaching out for help, and just can't get to them in some cases. Can you come back to a point you made earlier, Shantanu, and that is about the congestion? Some of the things that I've been hearing is because these buildings are in such tight confines, the area is so congested, that's actually hindering the bringing in of heavy equipment to lift up the chunks of concrete. So that's playing into things too. But also, it speaks to the nature of these buildings. This is a building that had been under construction since 2009. Are we talking about problems with construction, shoddy construction, similar to stories we've heard in the country in years past? Is that coming into play here too?
Absolutely, absolutely. Shoddy constructions, orders or contracts given to people because of political reasons and nothing else. And that's one of the biggest problems India routinely faces, but never meant this way. And Calcutta is the same case. It's the same city. Let's not forget, a couple of years ago, a huge hospital caught fire, more than 100 died. But he has not learned his lessons. Again, the same mistake was being committed. And I still fail to understand how come a building or a flyover or a overpass, which is under construction, that collapses. If it's old, it's still understandable. But that means you're actually creating something new, and then it collapses. It means the material that went in must be of absolutely inferior quality, and there was no quality check.